well. We've got waiting, deer in the headlights, like frozen, don't know what to do. I know I get like that when I'm overwhelmed. It's at the deer response, I don't know, but I know when I was going through a traumatic experience, I just froze and just stared off into, and the person who was participating in this experience, I hate it when you do that. So perhaps it was something I did a few times, I guess. That was decades ago. It's not something I'm experiencing now, thank goodness, but we do have a bag of balls. For me, that means someone's just being a jerk. My sister used to refer to people being a jerk as far as switching those two words around. And we got curly hair, not knowing which way someone's going. Curly hairs are not just corkscrews all the way down, but sometimes they completely stop and go the other direction, where it forms a C shape instead. So someone could be waiting in a situation where someone is kind of being a jerk and they're just kind of waiting to see which way they need to go next. They're at a standstill. Maybe someone is alarmed to the fact that somebody is actually seeing what it is that's been going on, and now they're thinking that they need to wait on their next steps. There's a little dog toy here that's filled with treats, in case you can't see that. Interesting, we've got all cards that are in pencil stage. In case you're new here, these are cards that I made. They're in different stages of being made. Some are colored in, some are penciled, some are just words. And I am scanning these as penciled versions as well as when they get colored in, so that way I can get them printed in both forms, just in case anyone else would like to have the pencil version, and then, because I think they're actually really cute in pencil. Just my opinion. The deer in the headlights is there on the front. Something said, look at the front card. All right. Okay. I did shuffle these already twice with our last story with Google. Google's been super short and sweet these days. I haven't decided if I liked it or not. I mean, it was great for storage reasons, but as far as interpreting the cards, I don't know, not so much. Just because it seems like when Google breaks down the card as far as interpreting what those cards mean, it pretty much gives more detail, of course. And then whomever is watching it can kind of pull out what they need from all of the different descriptions and interpretations that he's providing individually on the cards. But I mean, it is what it is, and it's meant to be what it's meant to be. So we just go with it because that's what life is, best done. The best rate, I don't know how I'm trying to say it. That's the best way to manage through life, is just going with the flow of things. Look how full this basket is. Remember when we first started, it was kind of like right to here. I think it was 3/4 full, and now it's completely full, almost. And I've got new sleeves coming, so. Bottom of the deck, it's a wrap. Or it could have something to do with a mother figure, or something being preserved. could be something with Egyptian what am I trying to say, folks? Apparently, Google said me being tongue-tied or not being able to find the right words is part of the energy of the day and part of the story that we were just doing in the Google, saying that there's transformation happening or needs to be done or whatever. Or the needing to detox, I think he said. So he said, have a glass of water. We've got Pinocchio here. The wooden boy that kept trying to become real, and it's like it's a whole story of him trying and actually never succeeding at what he had tried to accomplish. But I believe in the end he became a real boy. Pinocchio also was a liar, right? And he lied despite of himself. I mean, every time he lied, his nose would grow, but yet he couldn't help himself but lie. So someone could be lying about this mother figure here. We've got a hawk. This is one of my new cards. Did I put the date on it? Good. I often see hawks on the light posts, kind of just sitting there like, here I am. And oftentimes I'll see the crows coming and just attacking it. And I've always noticed it's like the hawk is sitting there and it takes, what, 3, 4, a whole group of crows to try to attack this hawk. But yet the hawk still sits there, like unmoved and unbothered. So it's like, why do you need so many crows? Not only that, but the hawk can fly to a distance and elevation. I believe the hawk can do this too, if it's not just the eagle. But they fly to an elevation where the crows can't even reach. The crows can't fly that high. And it's interesting because the hawk will just sit there and take whatever it is that the crows are doing. So perhaps this hawk is the symbolism of this mother figure who is being lied upon, and they're just letting the crows kind of just fly around and do what they want to do, causing a tornado, causing chaos, causing a natural disaster. Sorry about the lighting. And we've got a toe tag. Something needs to be identified. Maybe it's the tornado that needs to be identified, or this person, this Pinocchio, who perhaps needs to be identified on some level if they haven't been identified already. Going from the front of the deck now, we've got the Medlar Open Arse, which is a fruit. It is a medieval fruit that the riper it gets and the more rotten it looks, the better it is on the inside. A lot of times people will throw the fruits away thinking, you know, that's really rotten. And then if they don't know that it's one of those that are better when they're ripe. So again, with whomever this person is causing this chaos, and that's been identified, I'm going to say, they're trying to make someone look rotten to the core. Not realizing all they're doing is making this other person look way better through it all. We've got a mermaid. I really wish the lighting was better. I keep having all these ideas and they're not panning out. We've got our mermaid here. Could pertain to someone who has blonde hair. We also have someone who's trying to live on their coattails. Maybe they're just not wanting to let go and they're just staying attached to this person for whatever reason. The mermaid is aware of her surroundings, of course. She can see things out of the corners of her eye. And maybe this person who's trying to cause all this havoc is now realizing that. We've got a butterfly. Same color schemes too. Look at that. We've got the blue butterfly and the yellow background, and then we've got the mermaid with the yellow hair and the blue background. Reflective of one another. That's nice. The butterfly. Butterfly has to go through struggle in order to become a butterfly. It's not going to become a butterfly just by going and saying, hey, I want to be a butterfly. That butterfly actually has to go into its cocoon and completely deconstruct itself in order to put itself back together. And if you open that cocoon to free the butterfly before it has a chance to do the struggle on its own, that butterfly will not fly. So in everyday life, it's important, just like that metal or open arse fruit, there's transitions involved. There are phases that we go through. There are growing opportunities to make situations way more sweeter than if we hadn't experienced them in the first place. This one is the shadow, just as we're talking about going through darkness and having to experience transitions and stuff like that. Going through your shadow period, someone else could be going through their shadow period of transition and transformation. A lot of people are often scared of their own shadows, right? When you're a child, and I've seen this so many times. There's children that will see that there's a shadow there, and they will try to run from their shadow, and they're scared of it, thinking that it's just something that is hanging on to them or following them, and it freaks them out. Not realizing it's just the sun behind them lighting their backs or whatnot in order to see the shadow in front of them. And life kind of has that same resolve, right? Things that we need to work on will come out in our shadow, and so we shouldn't be afraid of our shadow, just like that child shouldn't be afraid of their shadow. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of the process. What's important is that you acknowledge that the shadow is there and you deal with it. Some would say even make friends with it. Next lifetime, everything you own, and then it's in an open box. A lot of times people will say, that's not something I need to deal with right now. Maybe they'll just keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off, and they'll just do it next time. Well, how many next times are you going to go ahead and say that? When you just say, oh, I don't want to deal with that now. Or you just put it in a box and you pack it away and you just don't deal with it at all. Whatever it is that's ailing you or your shadow or causing any kind of things or bad behaviors or whatever, it's going to always come out. There's no way of hiding that. It will always surface. It will always get. In this case, your shadow could be getting unpacked. When pigs fly, someone could seriously be witnessing someone else unpacking their shadow side. And they're saying, wow, I would have never imagined in a million years that this person would have done that. Never in a million years. We've got facing your fears with love, with the little dog and the big dog. Giving the little dog is giving the big dog a big old kiss. So you know what, I'm scared of you, but I'm going to show you love just the same, because just because I'm afraid doesn't mean that that has to be your fault. Even if you're the cause of it, or even if you present whatever it is I'm afraid of. I'm going to face that with the love that it deserves. Because a lot of times when people come from a place of pain, or in a place of causing fear, they're actually coming from a place of pain. And so when you can see that, or you can give that much attention to it, or be aware of that, you're actually showing it love, which overall causes it to dissipate in most cases. Not saying all cases, but in most cases. There is a ring here, whether that's a commitment. It's under the medlar open arse. It could be a commitment that is long overdue. Maybe someone is making a commitment to this change. Could be just a gift that bears a heavy weight, a heavy responsibility. Something that's weighted down this mermaid. Or the mermaid could be overweight and it's affecting their health. If anyone is in that situation, if you've tried everything and you just can't get that weight off, sometimes it's because we haven't given ourselves permission to lose that weight. I know that was me for many, many years. I carried extra weight. I was almost about 200 pounds. And I wanted, in my mind, I didn't think I was overweight. I actually liked the size that I was. But the number on the pants said otherwise, you know what I mean? So I knew that I needed to probably lose some weight just because it was the healthy thing to do. And I couldn't really lose weight. And I used to think that I held on to the weight because if I ever were to get sick, then I would at least have some weight to lose before I got so sick that I couldn't even sustain myself. So I had to basically face my shadow in that situation and tell myself, you know what? It's okay to lose the weight. If you get sick, there's, medical professionals and different things that you can do in order to help sustain your life. You don't need the weight for that. And I ended up going out and walking because I refused. My friend would say, all you have to do is walk like maybe 45 minutes a day and you'll start losing weight. And I knew it was something like that I could do, and I just refused to do it. I didn't want to, which is fine. But it took a long time to lose the weight. It wasn't an overnight process. My whole point is saying sometimes you mentally have to tell yourself it's okay to lose the weight, that you're safe. For whatever reason, sometimes people hold on to weight as a protective source because they think it keeps people away from them. Or, as I said, for my medical reasons, I didn't want to get sick and not be able to sustain life that way. This weight could be a stick in the mud, or it could be someone having a stick in the mud kind of thought process. Maybe this being overweight is causing someone to be a stick in the mud, like an Eeyore of sorts, or whatever it is, the weight that's causing. Maybe it's not even like weight, like physical weight. It could be mentality weight or psychological weight, something that feels like they're just carrying everything on their shoulders. It also could be like this commitment is working out, right? Whatever it is that you're facing your fear with love, whatever that fear may be, whatever you're being committed to, it's working out, right? Don't be a stick in the mud. Don't have that negative mentality. Don't feel like you're stuck. Here you've got this empty toolbox, something that you can potentially build upon or build with. You just need those tools. So yeah, you may have an empty toolbox right now because of your shadow, because you don't know, because maybe your just thought process is different and it needs to improve. But there are tools out there that you can learn and to put into your toolbox in order for you to overcome this stuck feeling. We've got a purse here. For some, the kind of purse you have is an image factor, depending on, what purse you have, or if it's a status symbol, depending on what kind of purse maybe is popular at the time. I think there's bags that are like thousands of dollars, and if you have one, you're supposed to be of high status or whatever. And I guess if you have one, you're supposed to be a little bit more respected than others who don't. I don't know. I've never had a thousands of dollar bag, nor have I ever cared to have one. But a purse is also something that you carry with you every day, right? It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, because we're just using the meaning of these cards. As we were talking about the psychological aspect of things, this could be your purse and the things that you carry around, the things that you have in your toolbox. And it could be everything that weighs you down and makes you feel like a stick in the mud. But we're transforming that, right? With a little bit of hard work. Interesting that we have a purse that you carry your stuff in, and then we've got this open box that we have all your stuff in already. Packing it up. Packing it up, folks. We've got the female symbol here. So it could have something to do with a female of some kind around you, or you could be a female. It could be a female who's going through all of this, or it could be pertaining to someone is interested in a female. Maybe whatever commitment this person had made is weighing them, with this female, is weighing them down. And we've got Butterfingers. Someone has completely let this female slip through their fingers. With Butterfingers. We've got a hobo or a nomad. Maybe they don't know where this person is anymore. Maybe they were the type of person that they wanted to keep this female completely on the move, or feeling like they needed to be on the move, or they wanted to keep this person homeless. Maybe they had a whole network of people that helped them do this, and now they have lost the ability to do that. We have Medusa. Medusa was despised or disliked because of her beauty, and apparently she found herself in a situation that she didn't ask for. Kind of like maybe being forced to be homeless or forced to have to move around a bit. Medusa was cursed with snakes of hair, of course, and to have a stare that turned people into stone. So, of course, that would make it so everyone wouldn't want to be around her, right? Which kept her isolated. Probably made it so people wouldn't want to help her. And I have to say, I'm thinking about court cases and researches that have been done, and it's like when people are to be more attractive in court, gosh, which way did the study go? Hey Google, there was a study or research done on people who were pretty, and it had to do with court. Did it make it seem like the person who was pretty was looked at as more favorable, or did people not like the pretty person?
Research shows a halo effect, where attractive defendants are often perceived as more honest or moral, frequently resulting in more lenient sentences. However, this bias can reverse if the crime involves manipulation or fraud, where an attractive appearance is seen as a tool for deceit.
Very interesting. Okay, and then they also call it pretty privilege, where they think that people who are more attractive can get out of being get out of speeding tickets. And then, of course, there's the people who are envious of people who are attractive. They may be envious of the attention that they may get. It could be that this person's not even attractive, but maybe their personality or their spiritual essence is attractive. And so people are kind of jealous of that because they want to be center of attention, or they want to have that attention on them versus on this other person. So perhaps this was the weight that this person carried, and this is the reason why this person was made to be or forced actually to be homeless, because people were attracted to this person. So I have a feeling that there were people who tried to make it so this person could not get help. This person could not get a job. This person could not get into relationships. Family would probably turn their backs on them and everything else. And so that caused this person to have to keep moving around or be homeless. We have an A-line haircut here. It's not colored in or drawn or anything. It was just a word, so that way I can remember that I wanted to do this card. The A-line haircut is when it's short in the back and it's long in the front. So that's a little bit of a imbalance there. Someone's being shorted behind their backs is what I'm feeling. We've got blockage with the Beaver Dam. I wish you could see it. Someone's being blocked, as we were just saying, as far as trying to get help, as far as having any kind of relationships or whatnot. There's a resurrection happening. Let's see what's going on next. It's being regrown, rebirth. The resurrection is from, these are the flowers that were 32,000-year-old seeds that scientists have found. They were in the ice caps. I guess a squirrel 32,000 years ago had buried it and had no idea that he was helping science along, and science wanted to see if they could grow it, and sure enough they sure did. And these are the flowers. So this could be a situation that's been going on a very long time. The hospital. It could have started in a hospital. This whole situation probably could need a rest. Maybe it is getting a rest. The hospital is key. So I have a feeling that this whole situation may have started in a hospital of some sorts. Maybe that's where someone felt the need to start controlling this person and their environment for whatever reason. Maybe it was over a purse. Maybe there was some kind of income or prosperity there. Maybe someone went into the hospital and said, hey, this is a perfect person that we can do this to. Let's go ahead and control their every move. Let's isolate them. Let's cause imbalance in their lives. Let's cause them blockages. But all they did was sprout a seed that was from 32,000 years ago. And mind you, this is all because it was probably a mother figure who had, who's a mermaid. Who's comfortable within their emotions. But the bottom of that card, of the overall energy card, is it's a wrap. All of this natural disaster is all being identified. Because the hawk sits there as the crows circle around and peck at this person and tell lies about them, causing them again to be homeless and to be isolated and whatnot. We have the bag of balls coming out again. Bag of balls, somebody's just a plain jerk. You just don't know what's happening, honestly. You don't know what ball you're going to get. You don't know what you're playing. It's like you see a whole bag of balls come out on the playground and you're just like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we doing soccer? Are we doing dodgeball? Are we doing softball? What are we playing? Maybe they don't even know and they need to take a break from all that. It's like, why are you even doing that? Do you even know why you do it? We've got the mullet, conservative in the front, party in the back. Someone wants to appear one way, but they're certainly not like that. Could be a doctor or at this hospital or whatnot. Someone could appear to be very conservative, but they're just a lush behind the scenes. We've got a knight, the chess piece of the knight, a horse. Are they playing chess? Are you playing chess and they're playing checkers? Do we have any other checkers on the board? No, we don't. Solid footing for the horse. Domesticated mammal. Maybe they just wanted to domesticate this person and take their joy from them. To support or mount something. To provide a person or vehicle with a horse or horses means that they are horse and equipped. It's an untamed spirit, freedom, power, and movement, strength, independence, nobility, loyalty, and spiritual journey. It's also tied to status, passion, and the realms of the divine. Strong emotions, desire, bravery, victory, and chivalry. We've got a moth here. The moth is attracted to the flame. The moth is attracted to the light. So whatever this person was going through, obviously they're a light person, right? They're a light being. They tried to cover this. They're trying to heal whatever it was that happened. The bandage is under the hospital. I find that interesting. Bandage hospital, female symbol, and when pigs fly. We have pineapple, a sign of prosperity. If you ever are wondering what kind of gift to bring to someone for Chinese New Year, it's a pineapple because it gives you the longevity, the prosperity. This whole thing could have to do with someone from South America. They could be Chinese. Pineapples wear a crown of green leaves on their head, so this person could be newly in a stage of being respected and honored. It's also a sign of welcome, hospitality, and friendship, luxury, and wealth. Let's see, in Europe, from the 16th and 18th centuries of European, the wealthy would see this as being affluent because they could afford it when pineapples were so expensive. Whoever this person who is involved in doing all this little scheming and trying to keep someone isolated and homeless and isolated or whatnot in a state of imbalance and blocked from doing anything that they wanted to do, that person they did this to was actually their key to their lifelong happiness and prosperity, and they let this person fall through their fingertips. Sucks to be you. Could be a ruler or a CEO that lost this individual. Maybe this person was just really good at what they did as far as work is concerned. Really hard worker, great integrity, cared about their job, knew how to treat people. Someone is trying to take measurements, trying to plan their next steps. What are those next steps? Going over what they said, what they heard, he said, she said. Maybe this ruler or this CEO or this manager or this person, the head of power, is being quoted on what they said. Maybe. Let me get my word cards out. Interestingly enough, in both the corners we have different food items. The medlar open arse in the beginning, and then we're closing it out with the pineapple as well. The pineapple has that leathery outside, right? But it's super nice and sweet inside, so someone could appear, like, don't judge a book by its cover. And again, with the medlar open arse, the darker and the more leathery and the more rotten the fruit looks on the outside, the sweeter it is on the inside, right? So that's interesting that those are the beginnings and the endings of the story. We've got the facing your fears with love, and then we've got the bag of balls here. Maybe the jerk really just needs to face their own fears with love. And ask themselves, why are you such a jerk? Right? You're unpredictably predictable. I mean, people think that their issues and problems are so unique to them and like they're the only ones, but I can guarantee you that you're not the only one. Your issues or problems are not just unique to you. Sorry to bust the bubble. We've got somebody's watching the drama. Not controlling. They're just watching it. We've got the initial of N, first, middle, or last, who's wanting to commit to something, to a mentor, who's grounded, and it has to do with an Aries man. Aries came up in the last read as well. Uncontrolling, not controlling. This person could be two-faced. Gemini in its south node, I would say, is more of a two-faced person. Maybe they smile in your face, but they're really just kind of wicked behind the scenes in their shadow. And this person could be the person who is trying to isolate people. Maybe they felt hurt and they never disclosed that they were hurt. Maybe maybe it was someone who they looked up to and they really wanted to knock them off their pedestal and send them to the ground. We've got the commit with the ring. That's interesting too, right? And we've got reversed. Reversed. Oh, reserved. Upside down. Maybe this person is no longer reserved through this drama, and maybe they're acting out a little bit. Things certainly don't look like what they appear. We've got red flags because of envy. Weren't we just talking about Medusa and the envy? Whatever the envy is. Could be envy of looks, it could be envy of style, it could be envy of lifestyle, it could be envy of personality, it could be envy of anything. Anytime you're feeling envious of something, ask yourself why. Resolve it right when you feel it. Because it can grow into a huge natural disaster tornado. Pisces could be involved. Pisces are very airy and dreamy. Spiritually, on the most part. I love the fact that the overall energy is it's a wrap. And it's the toe tag being identified. We've got foe. Golden is kind of upside down and beautiful. We have delight here. So what are we delighting? The Aries is in delight. They're juggling to watch the drama. These are all just on top of each other. We've got what the heck underneath a bunch of blanks. Maybe someone is, maybe they're impotent. They're shooting blanks. Maybe they see someone else living life like their life is golden and it's a beautiful situation and they're just not liking that. Golden also could be up in age. So this is almost upside down. So maybe this person is kind of like mid-aged. Magic. We've got care here. Somebody kind of cares about the situation. Candy, we had a confirmation there. We have unique. candies. Maybe someone's trying to sugarcoat the whole situation and making themselves feel better about it. This vixen is involved. Maybe being a vixen was not in your best interest. And the rest are blanks. Let me go ahead and show you what time it is at the moment, so that way when I do the Google interpretation, it is 3:54. And most likely I'll do the Google interpretation, golly, in about 12 hours. It seems like so far away, but golly. Alright, with that being said, folks, thanks for being here. If you made any comments in the comment section, please put it when after the video gets posted. And then that way we can see what the comments were, because I can't see them. Thanks for being here. Make it a great day. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I also have a Google channel where I have Google interpret the same cards, the same spread, just for a different perspective. I've noticed that that one is more of like an overall message type thing, and then mine is more kind of specific as far as like the storyline is concerned. So the other channel is Awakening the Artistic Seer Asks, because I'll ask Google certain things, certain questions through usually towards the end of the read, as far as, you know, more insight or ways to do things or help or to awaken or whatnot. You can always ask on that channel. You could always put in the comments like questions you'd like me to ask on the following videos. I can always do that too. Okay, folks, make it a great day. Take care.